Today, I'm attempting to turn the Korg NTS-1 into a polyphonic synthesizer.
Freebie.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music-related content every single day, so if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Let's get started. So, like I said, today we are going to attempt to play the Korg NTS-1 polyphonically. And we are going to do that using the Akai MPC-1 and the Autosampler feature. Now, I have not successfully done this yet. I haven't really messed around with anything other than a little bit last night just to make sure that I knew how to get to the Autosampler, but I have not really pulled it off yet, so I'm very excited. So let me explain the setup a little bit here. Coming out of the back of the MPC-1, I've got this MIDI cable out of the MIDI out, which is going into the MIDI in of the Korg NTS-1. This, in theory, is going to allow me to pull up a blank project here, pull up a MIDI track, change the MIDI port, and hopefully, there we go, play the Korg NTS-1 via these pads here. Now, of course, I'm just triggering the NTS-1 via MIDI, so we do not have polyphony yet. This is still a monophonic synth. It's the same thing as playing with the keys there. Now, I do know that I could plug in like an Arturia key step into the back of the MPC-1 and play the NTS-1 that way. We will be doing that, but after we do the auto sample, just to save some desk space and some wire clutter. So now what I'm going to do is press the sampler button and click this button right up here, this little icon. That's going to take us to the auto sampler. What that's going to do is sample a variety of notes on the NTS-1. So as we play notes going up and down the keyboard on the NTS-1, the tone will change. And the MPC-1, again, is going to sample several different notes on there and create, I believe they're called key groups, which is basically going to give us a consistent sound across this whole multi-sample. So I am really excited to try this out here. We're going to record from inputs 1 and 2. We're going to record a note range from C2 to C4. You know what? Let's turn that to C5, whoop, just to be safe. Note stride is 6. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Velocity layers are really cool for something like drums. It can record multiple notes at different velocities, so the harder you hit the pads, the actual sound of the samples will change. That's very cool. We're going to use that, hopefully, with the electronic drum set. That should be pretty fun. Sample length, 3,000 milliseconds. Tail, 1,000 milliseconds. That should be good. Let's go ahead here and name this. I'm just going to name it NTS-1. There we go. Let's see here. Looping. Okay, we don't need that. Auto trim start. I don't know what all that means. I'm just going to go for it, basically. We're going to have 24 seconds of samples used up. Really quick, let's actually make the sound that we want here. So nothing too crazy. And let's bring in a little bit of modulation. How about just like the teeniest bit of filter sweep modulation? There we go. That sounds pretty good. Now, in theory, I should just hit do it, and the MPC-1 will take care of everything else. So fingers crossed, here we go. I think it's working. Okay, so there was our first note. Now it's recording our second. Now our third. Okay, I think that we now have basically a program that is the NTS-1. So I'm going to change track 1's type from a MIDI track to a key group program, and there it says NTS-1. I'm going to unplug the NTS-1 from both power and MIDI and audio and get that out of the picture. Let's see if we can play 2 keys at once. It worked. Man, that is so cool. Okay, let's edit this. I think we can just go program edit. Yep, here we are. So now we can see we've got a whole bunch of different stuff that we can go in and edit. Starting with the master tab here, we can see our polyphony, which is nice, some tuning options, transpose options. Now here we're going to select our key groups, and the key groups basically are the ranges between the notes that it sampled. So one thing I found out, if we want to edit all of those, we can click on that keyboard up there, key group, all. So now we're editing all of the notes that it sampled. So let's see here. Polyphony is okay at 16. I don't need to change anything in the samples, I don't think. Here we can change like our pan and velocity here. That's cool. Here's a filter and envelope. So, and as you can see, we have two envelopes for filter and amp, as well as our filter just by itself here. Yep, so let's go ahead here and actually just put a little release. There we go. Cool. Yeah, let's continue here. Here's our modulation section. So here's our LFO. We can pick the wave shape, the rate, if we want it to sync or not. We've got 4 different destinations: pitch, filter, amp, and pan. Then down here we have our controller modulation section. I'm actually going to set this up, pitch bend. I'm going to set it, I read someone said that 18, if you set it to 18, that's a whole step. So when I connect the key step to play that, we can bend it up and down a whole step. That's all I really want there. Effects, I'm not going to assign effects here. I'm just going to assign those actually on the track back on the main page. So I think I'm ready to plug in the key step. So let's hit main. Just going to use the original key step here because it's a little bit smaller for the camera. Plug this thing into USB here. There we go. Plug it in to get some power. Cool. And just like that, we've got a MIDI controller. That's a Polyphonic NTS-1. And now pitch bend should work as well. Yep, awesome. That is so sick. Let's go ahead and put some effects on here now, actually. Let's get some reverb. This feels really weird putting external effects. Well, I guess they're not technically external anymore, but on the NTS-1 sounds, which is a device that we've used basically exclusively as an effects unit for the past year on the channel. There we go. A little bit of delay. Let's add some of that. And how about an auto pan? That could be fun. I think that's under modulation. Auto pan. Yeah. Now you might hear when I'm holding down some of these notes, it re-triggers and there's kind of a breaking point there. That I believe can be all fixed in the sample edit. I'm not going to get into that right now because I'm not going to save this sound. I more just wanted to find out how it works. I can always go in and fine tune the edits later. That is so cool. That is so sick. And well, like we've been doing for the rest of these videos, let's go ahead and throw it into some kind of drum groove here. Yeah, let's get a kit loaded up. And I'll throw something down here. Metronome on. 2, 3, 4. Metronome off. Back to track 1. There we go. Track 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that again. There we go. There we go. Now we can overdub something too. there you have it, using the Autosampler on the Akai MPC-1 to take one of our favorite pieces of gear, the Korg NTS-1, and essentially make it polyphonic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If not, you can hit the dislike button, that's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.